This is lesson 912, and this is problem 912. In this problem, we are given equations, and we are to complete the square to get the equations into perfect square form. So here's what perfect square form looks like. It's when you have your perfect square, ax plus b squared equal to your numbers that you might have on the right-hand side of your equation, so equal to c. And the goal would be that when we rewrite equations in perfect square form, we can very quickly see how many solutions our equation will have without having to solve for them. So I'm going to show you how we can do that. So we're going to take a look at problem A to begin with. And problem A is x squared minus 6x plus 10 equal to 3. Okay, before I start completing my square, I need to get this equation into standard form, so I want to get those 3's to go away on the right. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 7 equal to 0. And then now I'm going to do my equation mat. Okay, so I've got my x squared tile, and I have 6 negative x's. So again, I'm trying to make a square, so I'm going to put 3 of them above my x squared and 3 of them to the right. And now when I look at the dimensions of this square, when it's completed, they will be x minus 3, because I have an x side and 3 negative sides, times x minus 3. So that makes this corner over here, so it would be negative 3 times negative 3. So that corner piece has to have 9 pieces in it, okay? So it currently, from my equation, I have 7 ones, but I need there to be 9 there. So I'm going to have to add 2 to make 9. And if I added 2 to the left, I have to add 2 to the right. So now I have my perfect square on the left, x minus 3, quantity squared, and I have it equal to a positive 2. All right, so I'm going to solve a little further just so you can see how I can tell how many solutions we're going to have. So if I start solving for x, I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Now remember, when you do that, you have to put a plus or minus out in front there, okay? So that tells me right away that I'm going to have 2 different solutions. So I'm going to keep solving to show you that. So on this side, I get x minus 3 equal to plus or minus the square root of 2. I keep solving, I add 3 to both sides. And I have x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 2. So that gives me 2 solutions. We have 3 plus the square root of 2. It's one of my x-intercepts. And I have one at 3 minus the square root of 2. That's another x-intercept. Okay, so when you see that your equation in perfect square form is equal to a positive number, right away that should tell you that you are going to have 2 solutions. Okay, so again, if that perfect square is equal to a positive number, you will get 2 solutions. So let's take a look at B and see what happens in a different situation. So problem B is m squared plus 12m plus 37 equal to 0. Okay, I've already got it in standard form, so I'm going to go ahead and set up my equation mat. I've got an m squared tile, and I have 12 m's, so I'm going to split those up and put 6 of them here, and 6 of them to the right of my m squared. All right, so when I do that, what are the dimensions of this square going to be? I'm going to have an m plus 6 times m plus 6. So then this corner piece is 6 times 6, so there's going to have to be 36 ones in that corner. Well, I currently have 37 ones. So to make that 36, I'm going to have to subtract 1. And if I subtract 1 from the left, I have to subtract 1 from the right. So now my perfect square on the left is m plus 6 quantity squared equal to a negative 1. All right, so I can see that my answer does not equal positive number, so I know I'm not going to have two solutions. So my parabola is not going to cross through the x-axis twice. So it's either not going to cross through it, or it's going to touch the parabola one time. Or sorry, it's going to touch the x-axis one time. So let's see what happens if I go to start solving this. If I take the square roots of both sides, I see that right now I'm getting the square root of a negative number. Okay, we talked about this before. We cannot take the square root of a negative number. So I know that in this problem, I'm going to have 0 real solutions. Okay, so that means that this parabola is not going to cross or touch the x-axis. It means it's going to be above it or below it, and it won't go through the x-axis, okay? So anytime you see when you have your perfect square form equal to a negative number, you're going to get that you have 0 real solutions, okay? So now let's look at a third situation with problem C, which is 4p squared plus 36p equal to negative 81. The first thing I want to do is get this into standard form, so I'm going to add 81 to both sides. So I have 4p squared plus 36p plus 81 equal to 0. And I'm going to do my equation mat. All right, so on the left here, I have 4p squared tiles, so I need to get those in the corner here. There's 4 of them. Okay, and then I have 36 p's, okay? So if I divide them in half to put half above, half to the side, that means that I'm going to have 18 on top and 18 off to the side, but I have to account because I have 2 of these p squared here, so I'm going to put 9 of them here and 9 of them here. I think that's 9. Yep, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. 9 here and 9 below. Squeeze one in there, okay? So that way I have 36 total p's, and I'm still making a square here. So if I look at the dimensions now of what this perfect square will be when we complete it, well, now I have 2 p sides, and how many do we have here? 9, right? 9 unit sides along the bottom, and the same thing over here, 2p plus 9, okay? So now you want to figure out, well, what is the area of this part of the square going to be? And it's 9 times 9. So 81 is what needs to go there. Well, I have exactly 81. So they're already in there. That means I don't have to add or subtract anything to either side. So let's go ahead and write what we have now. On the left, we have 2p plus 9 squared, and that's equal to, oops, not 81, it's equal to 0. I have 0 on the right because I didn't have to add or subtract anything. Okay, so now we have a different situation. We don't have a positive number on the right, we don't have a negative number, we have 0, okay? So if you think about solving this and you were to go take the square root of both sides, well, we don't have plus or minus 0, we just have 0. So if I'm solving this, right, I would get 2p plus 9 equal to 0. And when I solve, I'm just going to get one answer, okay? So when the number on the right, when you get this into perfect square form, is equal to 0, you are going to get one solution. Okay, so just to review how to quickly determine the number of solutions when we get this into perfect square form, we get it into perfect square form, and if the number on the right is equal to a positive number, we are going to have two solutions, meaning our parabola is going to cross through the x-axis twice. If we get it into perfect square form and the number on the right is equal to a negative number, that means we are going to have zero real solutions. So our parabola will not cross the x-axis at all. So it'll either be above, opening up above the x-axis, or opening down below the x-axis. And then if we get that the perfect square is equal to 0, that means we have one solution. So that means that that's going to be a parabola that just touches our x-axis one time.